Ensign Torg Lavelle reporting for duty at Transporter Bay 4.
Hey.
So, here I am.
There you are, shooting star.
Reporting for duty.
Fresh and fruity.
Captain Skywick said he called ahead. I'm to be trained on the transporter.
Gnarly.
I've been reassigned from tertiary hydronics. During the Craggle attack, I initiated the anti-cortisol spray, which gave the captain the chance to launch a counteroffensive. Captain Skywick looked me right in the eye and said I was just the sort of ensign he wanted on transporter duty. It was the proudest moment of my life.
I really gotta tell you, Ben, the man here, that is the coolest story I've ever heard in my life.
So, here I am, ready for training.
Okay, alright, fine. Let's get you trained. Alright, training's about to start. I see you got your books and you ready to go?
Oh, yes, I'm ready. I've got my notebooks, my prep books, and a data recorder so that I can review my lesson later.
That's great. That's just great. I'm gonna start and let me know if I'm going too fast, okay? This is where you punch in the coordinates. This is where you do the finger slide thing to energize. This is the cleanup button. That's how you transport.
That's it?
Banana split.
What about lock-on, pattern stabilizing, ionosphere compensating?
Do I need to show you the finger slidey thing again? God, that's not the first time tonight I've said that.
Look, if I'm to be an asset to Captain Skywick, I'm going to need to know this thing front to back. I'm going to need to know how to repair it if a photon torpedo rips half of it out.
Or you're going to need to be able to direct people to transporter bays 1 or 2. We have 4 transporter bays on this ship. We could be ripped in half twice, and we'd still have a fully functioning transporter bay.
Well, could I at least have a look on behind the back panel? See how this thing is rigged? I have a PhD in starship engineering. So
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and look under Jason Statham's skirt.
Jason who?
He played the transport. Never mind, no one gets that anymore. Just knock yourself out.
Ensign?
Yeah,
This doesn't look right.
you're the one with the PhD. Make it look right.
No, I mean, that looks like a replicator with a piece snapped off and something else.
Oh, shit. So you're like new. Oh, okay. Looks like you are going to learn something here today.
Oh, good, finally.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to explain it and let me know if I'm going too fast. I'll stop and you can take some notes here. It is a replicator.
A regular replicator?
Regular old replicator-oni.
Like the one our ship uses to make tools and our food?
I believe we covered that when we said replicator.
Those things have inhibitors to prevent them from creating living beings.
Oh, yeah, that's the piece we snapped off. Yeah, they're also supposed to be able to stop you from making Captain Morgan mix with coffee, and that's the piece we snapped on.
That's not how transporters work. They separate your molecules to beam warp them to another location for reconstruction.
Okay, yeah, well, let me explain this, and let me know if I'm going too fast. We'll stop and pick it back up. It doesn't do that.
Wait, say more things.
Oh, God. You're the one with the PhD. You're supposed to know that the amount of energy required to do that thing you said about the moving molecules from place to place and getting them in the right order, the amount of energy required to do that for just this cup of coffee would make the universe explode. Welcome to the transporter bay.
But a replicator just makes a new thing. Where would the original go?
That's what the cleanup button is for.
The what? What?
Yeah, the cleanup button. Payroll says we can't have 2 of the same guy running around, so the cleanup button sucks all of your disintegrated molecules down into the transporter pad to reuse for the next beam. Even the penis parts, even though that's disgusting.
Reuse for the next beam?
Yeah, you're practically a perfectly solid, good block of biomass. penis parts. So, yeah, we replicate that, we save it down, and down it goes. Yeah, it works great.
So,
Yeah. Look, you may die. You may
Just-
die a
just-
lot.
Does Starfleet Command know about this?
Look, you're looking at it the wrong way. It's not so much a matter of you guys, it's more a matter of the parts of you that live on, millions of them, inside everybody who's transported since then, even the penis parts. It's kind of inspiring, we truly are all one.
So every time you get transported, you die?
Well, yeah, but you know, you're still around. You're a little bit of me, probably. Ew, that's disgusting. Yeah, the little part you lives on. It's kind of inspirational that way, don't you think?
Well,
Maybe it's a little bit murder, but it's only a little bit murder, you know. And just think about the benefits, man. You know the only people who never get sent on an away mission? Transporter technicians. Yeah, I'm sure you wonder why we're the only ones riding our bicycles around a starship. So it looks like Captain Skywood did you a favor today, bud. You're about to be one of the longest living members of the crew.
this can't be real. So what? Every time you transport someone, you're a murderer.
It's assisted suicide, technically, and it has its benefits. I'm sure you're glad to know that every time that actual commander of Manander steps onto a transport pad, his penis loses about 1% of its mass.
Why would that happen?
The time he tried to leave Ensign Potts behind on an away mission, that's why that would happen.
That seems incredibly petty.
Yeah. Oh, and you should know, because it's going to be part of your job, every time Council Miranda goes on an away mission, her internal body temperature goes up 1/10 of a degree.
Why would that happen?
Because you're welcome, bridge crew. She's bought breezier outfits twice now.
That's horrible.
Oh, not as horrible as the Gamma Starfighters. God, you remember that when the transporters just across Starfleet just started spitting out violently psychotic copies of senior members of the bridge crew that the transporter technicians then had to beat down in violent, sadistic combat?
Well, I did my thesis on that. The cause of the way the virus was spread was never publicly released.
Well, my friend, that is because there's no viral component to which members of the senior bridge crew the transporter technicians would like to have to put down with everything around them, including rusty hammers and crowbars. I mean, we don't need all of these.
You made copies of senior Starfleet officers? Violent virgins?
Well, no, God, we would never do that. That's way too complicated. We just told people they were violently psychotic.
Oh, this is such a violation of protocol. How can you violate your sworn duties to the Starfleet Code?
Look, man, people make mistakes all the time. You remember Klingons, right? Where do you think they came from?
Well, from their homeworld of Kronos, of course, with a history that dates back thousands of years.
We made that up. Yeah, what actually happened is Larry got into a transporter with a troll doll in his pocket while his transporter technician was a little bit high, and bam, you get Klingon. Like Romulus, you remember them? What actually happened was we tried to transport 4 Vulcans while we were running the coffee maker, and I can't remember what machine it was, like a microwave or something at the same time, and bam, you get pissed off Vulcans. And the transporter technician was also a little bit high at the time. Come to think of it, we're high a lot. Anyway, the point is we had to pretend that they'd been infiltrating the Federation for like 20 years because it took us a long time for us to figure out what was going on there. But, no, you're making that face again.
So I'm just a perfect copy of the original me that died the first time I got in a transporter.
Near perfect. There's like 7 times 10 to the 21st power molecules in the human body, and Jason Statham's a badass, but even he can't get them all correct every
Well,
time.
these are some pretty complicated machines. How bad can it be?
Well, let me put it this way. How many times have you been transported?
I don't know, maybe like 100, I guess?
Can you remember your grandmother's face? Yeah. So I think you're going to go ahead and get over your little qualms about what's going on here. In fact, I can give you a 1,000,000% chance that you're going to be okay with
No,
what happened.
I could never be okay with
You
this.
could never be okay with that, even if at midnight tonight, that transporter over there spits out a perfect clone of that Hawaiian sex god Lieutenant Momoa, whose mating cycle starts tomorrow.
You've done that before, haven't you?
Look, all I'm going to say is that the replicator in your room can't tell if those vodka bombs it's making are going into you or into a perfect clone who you are now ethically bound to hide, or the security staff will find him and disintegrate him. Oh, no.
That's kind of, well,
Yeah, isn't it?
no, we need to report this to the captain at once.
There is no way the captain's going to believe you if you don't actually unscrew one of the transporter pads and go bring it to him yourself.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
you're
I'm gonna go right in there right now.
Oh, no. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, God. Oh, no.
Wow. Thank you for the training, Ensign. I feel like my head is just full of information.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I don't want to go back to my quarters until I've refilled someone's coffee.
Oh, that's great.
And given someone a really long foot massage. I mean,
okay.
really get in there between the toes with some lotion.
Oh, there's a good man. Get on in here.